Hi, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm about to get started. Trying to be less messy in here. We're starting to get the van put back together. So this is one of the steps we're going to be doing to get that accomplished. Next on the stuff to do. I got what I needed. Now let's get started. They're going to be cleaning this valve cover. This thing's pretty gross right here. Figure we got it all off. We might as well clean it before we reinstall it. And we got a few other things to be doing too. Until we get the driver's side head back from the machine shop once I pay for it out of machine shop jail. So, go. These. So, we're going to be trying this out. Oops. Okay. Worked pretty good on other things. We'll try it out on this. I figured. That's what we're using. Okay, I got some rag right here. Yeah, as an added bonus, the stuff smells pretty good. Never really mind using this stuff because because it's not so doesn't have a chemical, funk to it. It's pretty much just doing the work for me. I'm just wiping it off. Okay, here we go. Just getting those little nooks and crannies is like a little bit more challenging than the rest of it, but the rest, it's pretty much coming off really good. Pretty effortless coming off it. Oh, it's coming off it. And our PCV. For one side, there's two sides to it. The other valve covers the other side of the PCV system. This just goes a rebreather type of thing that goes back into your air intake area, like where the air filter comes through in the throttle body, like right before the throttle body, like your mass airflow sensor area. Hooks to your air box. And just needs a little more on this side. That looks pretty good. Probably just wipe down in here. This looks pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and put the alternator bracket back on the engine as well. We're gonna be doing that now. Here we go. There's the alternator bracket. We'll get this out of here. This doesn't need to be here anymore. It's gonna get bottled up, take to recycling. So I'll bring the light in. Getting that alternator bracket put in here. Okay, let me move the stand. Got the light too, so I'm gonna get that in place. But that valve cover took pretty much no time at all to clean that. Got this light. I just gotta plug it in here. Make sure if I hook this to anything, I don't just try to rip it out when I get back done with it. That hook will be stuck on it. So that's kind of a terrible angle here. Give it a little bit more of a boost. One moment, guys. I think more from a different angle. I'm gonna move you guys over and try from here. I think you'll be able to see better. How's it going? That's better. 05 Chevy Astro. We're putting it back together. We just did the cylinder head 2 days ago on the passenger side. Now we did the rocker arms and I got a bento blade thing here. Yeah, all the guts inside of the valve cover and stuff. So yeah, good question. So we're about to put the alternator bracket back on. Okay. So we got these fasteners ready. This is what came out of the passenger side. It's just a silverware tray I had laying around to organize these bolts. Alright. I got the serpentine belt tensioner as well. Alright, here's the alternator with the bracket. I'm gonna go on this alignment stud right here from the cylinder head. Hopefully I'm not just blocking your view either. No, I actually don't think I can. No, that should be fine going on. Because I remember when I took off the intake manifold, I didn't have to have this off before. So it's okay to go on first. Goes on, no problem. And that's got a nut to secure it on there. And you got some of these stud bolts. So, not too bad. Then our serpentine belt tensioner goes right here. Okay. Just getting everything aligned is the main thing first. Okay, so this one nut holds that all on. Make sure you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I did. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a good diagram, man. I appreciate it. So I found out more about that truck since you were asking about it. I don't know if you were present the last couple of days when I did some lives. So the backstory on the truck was the guy just had some thing where he was driving it and it's a little bit of smoke started coming out from the engine bay. And he turned it off and got it towed. And they tore it apart. And they were supposed to do it like a they were just like diagnosing it. They didn't come to any conclusion. The thing's all torn apart and they never went any further than that. It's been sitting in his garage for like 3 years since then. Then he gave it to me. So that's basically the backstory. So I'll have to do my own investigation type thing on it as time goes on. But I think that timing belt stuff is going to be a big part of what's going to be going on with it. So nothing's been done on it at all, according to him. Okay. So we got this nut in here. And get a ratchet with extension. Either a semi-deep or a deep socket, because that's got that stud shank. And when you go through the stud shank, you need something longer than just a shallow. So let me grab that now. This should do. I believe it was a 13 or a 14. No, that's too small. That's probably a 14. Yep, there we go. That explains why these other holes weren't lining up either. It's actually starting to resemble an assembled engine somewhat now. In about a week, or a little over a week, we'll be able to get those. So like by 8 days or 9 days or so, probably less than that, we'll be able to get those cylinder head back from the machine shop on the driver's side and put that back together. And we'll be putting this whole thing back together. We actually drive it and get it out of the garage, you know. Binding up, or that's what it's supposed to be. I know it's not cross-threaded. I think it just starts to catch pretty quick on the bracket. So there's a few other studs that go through it, not just that one bolt. They make sure they're all in there and that type of thing. So I had one right here. I think they might have been even two different sized. I know on this power steering there's two different sizes. It's kind of interesting. I think what I have to do is back this off, get this bolt lined up first, and then do the stud after. It's not lining up for some reason. Make sure you guys can actually see everything. Oh, okay, Toyota Tercel is pretty good. Yeah, there's junkyards here. They're a little car, yeah. Yeah, that is a USA market car. They haven't made them for some time now, but that's about the age range, a lot of stuff. You can't find a wing. So you're looking for a certain part, huh? $500, huh? Yeah, you'd probably be better finding that at a junkyard if you can locally to you. If you could possibly. Alright, so I'm gonna back off this nut on the stud a little bit so I can get these bolts aligned. Otherwise they're not lining up. I can still leave it on the stud, just hand tight there. Okay, that's the bolt. I need that bolt. So it kind of holds it on there, but then I still have enough wiggle room to get it where I need to put it at the same time. That's what we're doing now. So we got 2 studs. I'm gonna take you guys off the stand and take a look at it. Then I see through the screen without me being down in there. Possibly. Let me get this light down here. Oh, that sucks, man. Okay. So I guess if I get more light in here, maybe I could see inside where the threads are lining up or not lining up. Shipped to Croatia. Okay. I got this other light. I should be able to get right into the spot we're trying to see. Let's take a look. Here we go. Here, my hand's cramping. I gotta switch grip. Kind of see. Okay. Doesn't really tell me much. Fortunately. Oh, good idea. I got a little pick here. Straight pick. And there's this other one. Okay, no, that's the stud. This one. That was a well? No, that's not. Okay, one's down here. I knew there was another one. Because I have 3 in the tray and like. Feels like that one goes right where it's supposed to. This one might be just sagging slightly or something just slightly tweaked where it's not going where it needs to be quite yet. We're about to figure that out. I think I can get you guys right down here. This little van, you know, there's not much room to put stuff on the hood area. By the radiator above it. Stuff just gets bumped off, especially when I'm working in the area at the time. I help if this light was pointed the right direction too. There. This other one's got to go back on the charger. Okay. We'll continue. One moment, guys. So I think what I'm going to do is back this off some more. Figure out what the heck is going on with this alignment hole. And proceed. I think the first one I'm going to try to line up is this one before the the studs, you know, that's kind of given. That's going to be on there. Because it's really close to the relative area. It's just not right on there yet. I mean, the stud makes it so much easier to just get it in position, so I'm not holding it and fighting it as much. about to get that thing in there. Just getting a sip of this coffee and we'll get started. All right. So this side's actually easier, guys. Look at this side. I got this. These are all the bolts that came off of the power steering side on the driver's side. If I can get it in frame. That whole tray right there. That's all for the driver's side. But that's not being done at this moment. We have to get the driver's side cylinder head in first before we do that one side. But the passenger side's only got like maybe like three fasteners versus that the power steering side's really anchored down a lot because it's got that plate too that junctions with the AC compressor. So they really anchor that down better. Alternator it just kind of freely spins here with the serpentine tensioner. Serpentine tensioner goes right here. All right, guys. So I'll end up backing this off some more. I'm gonna pull it completely off and take a look, see relatively where these holes go without this thing obscuring my view. Take this out of here. Okay. So it goes right in there like it's supposed to. Okay. Pretty simple. I'll pull it back and I'll show you where these holes are. You can see them right there. And take note, I got this alternator. I definitely don't want to drop that. It's got like magnetic windings in it, like most motors do. And if you do that, you bust up the magnets and it makes the magnetic force weak and it doesn't work right. Or it just don't even work. So right here, right here. So this should be pretty close to alignment. There's actually really not that much to go on this thing. It's kind of heavy. Don't want to drop it. Okay, there we go. I think then through here, I'll try to get you guys in to see it as well, which will help me because I can see through the screen at the same time. And deep, yeah, thanks for coming. Passenger side, yeah, we're wrapping up the passenger side. Good question. And Crazy D, thanks for stopping in. What are we wrenching on? This is my 05 Astro van. We're putting it back together. We got the passenger side, brand new cylinder head, OEM. I'll torque the spec 2 days ago with the new head gasket in there. And we just did the all the guts inside the valve cover yesterday. So the push rod, rocker arms, that type of thing. I'll show you guys that here once we get these lined up in here. But we're putting the alternator bracket on right now. Excuse me for a second, my nose is kind of running or something. All right. That felt a lot better now. Okay. It's just the weather and stuff going on here. It's high elevation here. It's about 4,400 feet above sea level here. So I'm gonna get some weird sinus pressure and stuff going on. Okay. I want to get this dang van back together. It's like supposed to be one of the primary vehicles for the family once we get it all put back together. Because then I can start wrenching on the other projects here while this one's being, you know, back in service. So till that point, we got to get it there. So what we just did, I'm gonna grab that other light because it's hard. This is a tight area, but I think I can get it. So and then with the screen here, I'm able to see behind, so I can line that stud up. That's what I'm gonna try to do right now. Because for some reason it wasn't lining straight up. Southeast Colorado here. So, right out here, I gotta take you guys off the stand. So it's really tight through here. It's gonna keep catching on stuff if I don't. Okay. I believe, yeah, I can see the stud hole. So what I'm gonna do is line these up at the same time. Hang on, try not to make you dizzy or be like, what is he looking at? There's a method to this madness. About there. So I'm using it kind of like a mirror to see what I can't see from the naked eye to line it up. Of course, I dropped all the bolts on the floor. Hang on a minute. Like I was saying, this little hood cowl here, like I start to put stuff and I lean on it. I bumped it and all fell on the floor. So there's 2 bolts, and I gotta clean up in here. This thing's been in here for a couple months, torn apart. Originally, we were supposed to just do the intake manifold gaskets and the spider injector, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna tear it down more, and do the head gaskets, because who knows what they're like. This thing's 20 years old, you know. Family's supposed to be riding in it, you know. So it's got good compression. Everything's good in this, as far as I know. So you're in Northern California, out in Eureka. Cool. That's pretty cool. I got some family out on the West Coast, not in California, that I really associate with, but got like an uncle in Oregon. Okay, see, that's why. Look at this. I'm going to show you. I can see it from here. Let me see from my angle if I can see it. Get this light in here better. Yeah. I just saw it. Certain angle, you can kind of see it. And then I don't have to even reach over. Okay, I can see right about there. I'm going to point with my finger because you probably can't. So everything looks like spaghetti if you don't get it pointed out. Right here. See how that little stud coming? Oh, I pushed it back. One moment. And pull it back out. But it's not completely lined up until, see, it's kind of like below it. Hang on. I just moved the camera again. Right here. Right there. I'll point it with it. See? It's slightly down and not lined up. I'm going to get that, push this bracket up at the same time and line that up. Otherwise, this is never going to be lined up if I don't do that. I think I can see it good from my own eyes right here. I'm going to zoom in some. Okay, there we go. You can see that little stud behind there, behind this power steering plug nipple thing. So that's what we want to do, is get that lined up first. Oops. So that's a big explanation I'm gonna zoom back out. It just looks like nothing right now. Hang on. Put you back on the stand. So that's what we're zeroing in on. We'll get that in place, and then we'll keep going. And I did get the exhaust manifold lined up yesterday. I just finger typed some bolts, and then I just called it a day after that. That was after we did all the valve stuff, like push rods and lifters install on the same cylinder head here. So you're on the coast, huh? I'll zoom in, guys, too. It's a lot better when it's zoomed in. It's almost too much zoom, though. Right there. I think I can live with that. Okay. Now that I just zeroed in on what we're doing, I can set you guys there, and then you know where I'm actually doing. If you even care, but you know. So I'm trying to not put my head in the way, but it might be in there briefly. Probably should put some Loctite on these too. I think I'm gonna do that now. So I'm gonna grab the Loctite. I got some over here in the toolbox. Right here. This stuff's pretty good. This is that generic stuff from Amazon. I didn't use this brand name on the stuff that's actually in the internals, like the rocker arms. I didn't use that stuff on it. Okay, thanks for that. Sit on. Should be easier. Yeah, I agree. So this stuff, I'm just gonna put some of this on this bolt here. And I put on brake components and whatnot so far. This stuff's pretty good. It was like $10 for this whole thing of it. It's just not like it's just an off brand. And I'm not sponsored or anything. It's just something I bought. So I don't know if I quite trust it on like internal engine components at this point in time, but for this type of thing, like an alternator bracket, I think it's fine because it's not actually, inside the engine. It's probably fine for in there too, but I don't know. That's plenty. See that? I mean, you get quite a bit for your money on this. It's better than no Loctite. I actually have name brand Loctite laying around too, but it's nice having the options, I like have a whole bunch of stuff to pick from. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and install it. Pull it back a little bit out. Okay. Perfect. Get those threads started. So in theory, this should be pretty well in alignment for this other bolt. And we're going to test that theory right now. So there's another one right down here, guys. Let me make sure you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, you can't. So good thing I checked. I start to get a pretty good feel from when you guys can't see something. I like to do the feedback and check constantly. Okay, now I'll show you what I was talking about. So down here, Oh, it's in perfect alignment. Cool. I'm going to put some Loctite on that one. I should say thread locker. It's not actually Loctite. It's like your Kleenex and your tissues kind of thing. If you want to be technical, you know. That's plenty. Just to keep it from vibrating out. Or anything like that. And more than likely, this probably doesn't have like a super high torque spec for it, these bolts. Because it seemed to be the magic number on everything inside that cylinder head. The rocker arms was 22 foot-pounds on the dot. Okay. And then the cylinder head bolts, the studs, those were 22 foot-pounds. And then they each had like slight angle, like 55 degrees, 65 degrees, and then 75 degrees for the super long ones. So the shortest ones had 55. The medium ones had 65 degrees. After you already torqued it to 22 foot-pounds, then you did it in the sequence of 1 through 13, following the diagram in that order. And then when I took it apart, in contrast, when I first took it off, I followed that same diagram but in reverse. And you're doing it at 90-degree turns, each increment following the diagram until it's completely off and loose. Then I had to use a 2x4. I did a live doing it. And a 2x4, if you couldn't get it to get unstuck, and like a hammer, and then you whack it, and then you could put some like penetrating fluid, like WD-40 around the edges of the gasket seams. That's what I did to get it out, because that thing wasn't coming out unless I did that. And that's in the service information to do that if it's stuck, and it worked. Worked awesome. So they're onto something there with that. So this thing was kind of struggling to get the thread started because I had this thing sagging on. This thing's kind of heavy. So I take the tension off by lifting it a little bit. Just getting right in there. And last but not least, our little almost my hand. They're gonna put a little bit of thread locker on that too. So it's kind of nice doing all this stuff on the vehicle. It helps me feel like I'm more in touch with what's going on with this thing. So I know pretty much everything that's going on with this vehicle. Whereas at first, I've never even worked on one of these in particular. That's plenty right there. And just make sure this thing has the thing where you pull it down to seal it. Had a little chintzy cap that just pops on. It doesn't actually thread on, so I don't know where it went, honestly. But it'll probably show up somewhere in the shop as time goes on. So, just like with the rocker arms yesterday, I had to get them all like finger tight, the whole set of 6. Because I tried doing it with just 2, tightening them all the way as I went, and it misaligned, and I had to take it back off. So from now on, that taught me to like try to set it all finger tight each thing, and it seems to work better that way. Instead of just hammering down 1, 2, and going in a row, because it started to misalign. The other ones I couldn't even get them to line to start the threads, so I had to back it off. That's why. So it took a little longer, but it's all good now. I'll torque this back, and it's all nice and happy in there now. So get the socket and ratchet on this now. It's all the details of this stuff, guys. This is so much detail. You can really nerd and geek out on it too. There's a lot. Just gonna use this ratchet. I haven't used this one in a while. I like this one. That Napa one. Also, don't forget, we got our serpentine belt thing. And then this thing's actually really important to follow the torque spec on it. It's just one bolt with thread locker. And we'll do that once we get to that point. I think we might wait on putting that in though, because sometimes some of this stuff starts to obscure things you're working on. I don't think it will really, but it might. I think that's probably okay putting that back together. Because we're just about done on the passenger side here. Because then we get the fun stuff with the intake manifold gasket coming up. Once we get the driver's side head in. Alright, let me grab this socket stuff. Okay, there it is. It bounced away from me when it hit the floor. So here we go. Get it started by hand first. Just go through and kind of get it a little bit each fastener. Try to get it seated in the right way. That one, okay, that one's kind of bottomed out. Then we'll take note. We'll hook our alternator up too. I don't think that's super important at this point in time, because I still have the battery terminals hooked up right now. In case something's shorting. I don't know. I just don't want to cook my PCM or ECM or any of that stuff if I can help it. So when I put the wires back on it, what I'm gonna do is disconnect the negative terminal on the battery, or the positive, whatever's easier. And then just isolate it from touching anything, from completing the circuit, so it's not touching the terminals anymore. There's not a whole lot to get this thing to bottom out, so this is kind of a long ratchet too, so gotta be careful. Just want it snug. After doing stuff on this cylinder head, I could probably bet on it that it's probably 22 foot-pounds for this as well. For these particular fasteners. Because these don't go into any of the cooling passages or the oil passages. They just dead ending. That wasn't too bad putting this back on. Next, so we can get those exhaust manifolds cinched up. Those bolts. Because those are already in there pretty good. Let's take a look at it. See? I'm going to back the zoom up. It's better. Alright, that wasn't too bad. So the passenger side's starting to resemble an assembled unit again. Okay, this light needs to be charged again. So down here, also we got to put spark plugs back in and that kind of thing. So let me get in position. We'll start doing that now. I'll get that light in the area too. Oops. Okay, I can see where we need to see over here. I just got to get the light from over above and swoop it in. Okay, so you can get an idea what's going on here. this in here. There we go. See those holes? Those are the spark plugs. Gonna go, a couple of them. That's the oil dipstick tube right there. That was probably the most difficult to get around it. Even when I took the old head off, and then when I put the new one on, it was kind of difficult too. So if you're doing this on one of these vans, guys, the best way to get this passenger cylinder head while it's in vehicle, in and out, is take out the tire right here, and the passenger side is completely out. It's on jack stands on this side, and go through this area, through the doghouse and through the engine bay hood area. It's just not even going to be a possibility. Just makes life so much easier going through this way. Same with the if you're doing motor mounts on this thing, this area through here too. But then again, if you don't have the 2-inch lift body spacers like this does, I'll show you. This is one of the spacers from the Journeys kit right here. It's a 2-inch spacer. If you don't have that, this body's like really tight in there. So that's why it's a lot of people have a lot of complaints about the spark plugs and access and stuff if you don't have that. You can still do it without it. It kind of helps though. So let's get these bolts in and tighten down. I just had to put this on the charger. Alright, we're ready. And it's kind of nice doing the glass manifold stuff on this vehicle that's not in the rust belt. Because this stuff, you don't have to like heat it up with a torch like I would if I was still in New York. See, I'm going to get that one bolt right here. Come on at that angle so I'm not bumping into you guys there. I'll take these gloves off because they're kind of in the way. Alright. Arm mic. Okay, we're not too bad. Gotta take a little bit of tension off the exhaust manifold. It's kind of sagging, pinching that bolt. Cool. Also, take note. Let me see here. If you're doing this, this dipstick here. Hang on, we're hooked on stuff. The light. It's got a little area. Where it has a hold down. Show you, see right there. So that has to go up above. If I remember right. Let me see. Just kind of follow the contours. Hang on. Now you can see. So looks like it angles up and around. And it looks like where it came from was like up here. Yeah. It gets piggybacked. I'll show you. Piggybacked up here. See that hole here? Hang on. Popped off. One moment, guys. sinus pressure going on. What's going on, Pookie? I checked out your channel and I added a few subs for you. So it's pretty good, man. Looks like you that boat is coming along. That's what the whole reason was. I was trying to remember why I was watching it. Yeah, you remember you told me about your boat. Looks like you're saving that thing from being junked, you know? So that looks pretty cool. Because I know I don't even have a boat right now, you know? So that's better than not having a boat, you know? Oh, okay. Oh. I get what you mean. Because I screwed up when I did the cylinder head video 2 days ago on here. I accidentally filmed some personal info crap that was laying around that I forgot I had in here. So that's why that's set to private, and I apologize for that if anybody was looking for the videos. Because, you know, there's weirdos out there. I don't want somebody knowing my personal info, you know, if, you know, they got malicious, stupid intent, you know. It's sad. It sucks that it's like that kind of world it is, but it is what it is, you know. So how you doing today, Pookie? Thanks for stopping in. Or if you're just trying to just post in stuff, I don't know. I don't know if you were trying to build your channel or what you're trying to do, but just trying to be supportive either way. That's cool. Because I know when I first started doing YouTube about almost 8 months ago, I was worried about people seeing my face and all this stuff. And then later, I bought the GoPro, and I'm like, all right, whatever, I don't care. See my face. You know, I think I have to get the right socket out. Oh, I was looking for this. These are handy. These little stubby. It's even got the wobbly 3/8 extension. Excuse me. Let me get the right socket in here. So bear with me. I traded off that socket set I usually use when I'm trying to have the whole thing in front of me. I got a few socket sets though. There's like some bird outside that sounds like the old Twitter noise when they sent those tweets. I keep thinking something's going on with somebody's phone close by, but it's some bird. Probably the same bird they used to make the noise to begin with. The same species, whatever. Okay, that works right there. 14 for the win, guys. And if I need it, I got this stubby. I think I do. I think it'll help. Get on there. I keep forgetting I had this. This thing's pretty smooth, guys. It's kind of expensive, though. I like it better than the Matco one I bought, though. This one I've been putting through even tougher stuff than the Matco one, and it hasn't let me down yet. That Matco one, I paid like $30 more than what this one is. Okay, so this actually needs a long extension. And I got one stack sitting here from when I was doing spark plugs. This whole contraption was for the spark plugs, but it works for the same thing. Just not with the same socket. So I'm going to build this Lego contraption of extensions to get into here so I can have the free travel with the ratchet. Okay, I didn't just start years ago. I had to millions of views, but I deleted it because of certain reasons. Okay, I hear you. Had ad set up where I was able to monetize and make some chump change. I make better money on Just Play. What's Just Play? Never heard of that. Okay. Makes sense, man. You gotta do what works for you. So let me get this over here. There. Run an exhaust manifold bolt. I'm gonna try to bounce around on it. Okay, this one's gotta go deeper. So I can't get that big old extension in there. Oh, nice. And that was for your van? Or no, that's for the other van, the Dodge one, right? Remember you had a Dodge too. It's an app game? Okay. Hang on, I have to show you guys actually what's going on. I kind of like to have that camera right there so I can change what you guys are seeing at, so it's seeing what I'm seeing in like real time if I can. I don't know if that one's even lined up. Let me check. So we kind of get them all finger tight and then send them home once I get it. Okay, I just need to get that take up done, I think. Maybe not. Kind of feels like it's spinning into nothing. I guess it's in there. We just don't want to cross thread nothing. Get paid with PayPal. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So back with the extension on it now. How's that Dodge coming along, man? So if that's a 2018, that's got that 3.6 in it then, right? It's like the same engine they put in a lot of stuff now. Get the light in a better position. Try to. Hang on. Trying to do it with one hand. Hang on. Let me get you guys in the right angle before I keep going. Yeah, the 3.6 Pentastar. I've seen some get like grenaded because people didn't change their oil on time. That's a lot of stuff nowadays, though. A lot of these people, if they don't change their oil or even check it or they let it run dry, like that Malibu I got outside, the thing just excuse me, gets trashed, you know. Try to take the tension off of this so I can tighten that bolt up. I think what would have been better with this light is if you could actually lock in the little pivot swivel thing on it, because it keeps on just trying to spin in the exact opposite way you don't want it to be pointing at. Big thing I've noticed with it. There we go. That's why it's got that take up and it's sagging on the bolts. I believe they're in there though. Maybe not. How's it going there, Carolina? Really? So about the recall on it, and then there's not like a TSV or anything. I think I think vaguely I do remember there being some type of thing going on with them. I don't know. I haven't worked with the Dodge stuff since the dealership back in 2017, 2018 time frame. So it's been some years now. They're putting that in everything, even the Jeep Wranglers. Kind of surprising. I mean, it makes more sense when they put that same engine in a lot of stuff across all their product lines. So it makes parts compatibility kind of easier, I guess, in that regard. There we go. We got it to line up. Now it's actually engaging the threads. My socket back. I'll try to take it off. There. No, nothing to do with it. It's the, yeah, variable valve timing. Yeah. Yep. If that stuff gets the dirty oil or it gets starved, then it's gonna grenade. And they got like I think those ones use 520, 5W20 oil, right? And they got that oil filter on the top. I made the mistake of trying to start one up without the oil filter thing in it before, but way back then. And that thing just, dude, in like less than half a second, all the oil's out of the vehicle. I turned it off right away. But man, it all went everywhere. It was a huge mess. It sucked. It's got those paper cartridge with the little O-ring for the oil filter. It's kind of nice though with the oil filter being right on top inside the engine. Kind of, okay, yeah, 520. Kind of cool that you don't have to go underneath. There's a lot of Toyotas like that too. Excuse me. So a lot of Toyotas like that as well. Toyota's pretty cool with the way their transmission filters are. A lot of them, and then they got the drain plug, so it's just like the oil change, you know. I think that's pretty cool. Like a lot of the Corollas and Camrys are like that. I think most of their vehicles. The only Toyotas I've owned so far is like two Celicas. Oh, okay, no problem. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, nice so you can see what I'm doing, right? Toyotas, they last. Great vehicles, man. They hold that resale value for, you know, that stuff. That one I gotta get the extension off for. Because even if like the maintenance is poor on them, they seem to really last too. You know, I don't know about the new within the last 5 years vehicles, but haven't seen really many problems with any of them. Besides recalled stuff. I mean, there's a reason why it's like their vehicle of choice overseas, you know, in the Middle East and stuff like that. So this one looks like I gotta get a wrench on it. It's just that tight, confined area. I got a nice wrench ready for it, though. Right here, that's it. It's all set right here for when I put it back together. Waiting for me for that particular bolt. That bolt was like, I knew you'd come back for me with that wrench. You hear that gasket starting to mesh up with the getting like bottomed out feeling. So the other one's ratchet, so the tool to use, I think. Yeah, let's try this one. Pretty good. Just going along the line and trying to get it all uniformly tightened and whatnot. Then we got them spark plugs to put in. Those spark plugs. Yeah. So I'm from New York, way upstate. So I know to speak proper grammar and stuff, but like just that kind of hick talk that we have. I catch myself a lot talking like how people talk where I'm from. So they teach you the good fundamentals of where I was in the school, grade school and whatnot, but a lot of people just have, you know, that type of dialect thing from where you're from. Because, you know, contrary to belief, a lot of people think that New York is just New York City and nothing else, and that's totally not the case. I mean, I haven't been back there in about going on 7 years now, though. Let's try it here. Just little by little getting it all cinched up, kind of all across the 6 bolts so that it's got like that uniform pressure in it. Because if I just go to town on tighten just one side, then not doing it like across, it's better chance of it not seating right. So we're trying to just get that to take place, if that makes sense, guys. Okay, I'm gonna get the ratchet back in here with the big extension, bigger extension. Okay, let's see my big hand in the way. Okay. I like this ratchet. I forgot how smooth it was. You can hear the fine teeth in it. I don't remember how exact. I think it's probably a 90. Pretty decent. I haven't tried any of the newer Napa stuff yet, like the new Carlisle with the green branding yet. I just noticed that when I was at Napa the other day. I can't really say I've had anything problems with any of the Carlisle stuff so far either. From Napa, their tool line, their higher end tool line. I think it's what they're marketing it as. Oh, what do you know? I learned something. If I get this light out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Right there. Man, this is not shining. There we go. So I had this ratchet. Let me get the light in a different way. I'm really not a huge fan of this light. But a light's a light for now. Okay, now you can see. So I just figured out I can get in here with an extension without having to use the wrench like I was doing. There's a little notch slightly in this it's just shock mount. So it's great in there, bottomed out. Or pretty close to bottomed out. Yeah, we're in there. Let me get this light put back on somewhere so I don't have to hold it. Okay, that's terrible. Lots of shadows get cast in this kind of thing. Lots of stuff in just different shapes. All you'll see what I mean if you get into this kind of thing. Yes, sir. Thanks for commenting, Giacomola. Appreciate it. I agree. You start to, take a fancy to certain types and brand names and stuff. They don't always all have to be the top of the food chain tools for every single scenario, but certain ones you start to have your go-to set of tools, I want these nice and snug, but this is into a cylinder head, so you don't want to be like getting the old impact out and putting it on full blast. This is a brand new cylinder head. I definitely don't want to blow it up, crack it, or anything stupid like that. Okay, then there's these last bolts. Okay, we got our wrench right here because the angle is so tight and it's a really tight area, harder to get into. I think I can get you to see this part though. Not too complicated. There we go. Right here. I just got some nice angle set wrenches from Tech 10 a few weeks ago. I'm gonna bought with my own money, nothing sent here. Just paid chill for any of it. So honestly, I've had a good luck with the Tech 10 stuff so far. I don't own a ton of Tech 10 stuff yet though. There we go. And this one, I think I can get a socket in there. Probably this little setup right here. Oh yeah. Okay, let's try that. Oh. Oh. Try not to get too carried away over tightening this stuff. Just get it nice and snug. Then once it's all tightened pretty good, just go through and give it a little snug. Make sure they're all snug. So you can see it. Because the rest of the fasteners got to get that, match that take up there. Because when one part gets like bottomed out tight, the other ones that were previously, they got to match up. So you got to go through and make sure they're all good. And go on to the next step and go on with life, you know. And get over here. Get that longer extension. Just makes it easier when you're farther away and don't have to be right in there with that ratchet. Just getting all hung up on all that. Get this longer one and I can have all that arc swing travel I need. Get our spark plugs in there. And we'll get our spark plug wire holder organizer thingy majiggy up the top of it, right along here. There's two pilot holes that go along. There's one right here. Then there's one you'll see soon enough. And the thing's right here too. This is like what goes on there. Like so. Onto that hole up here. Okay. Once we get this stuff cinched down, we'll start that. Then we'll put our spark plugs in that are sitting right here. And we'll follow the torque spec for that, for those spark plugs. And just make sure they're all prettied up to go in, like with our dielectric grease on the little porcelain portion. Oh. It slipped off a little bit. That wasn't good. We're good though. It was just barely. I'm gonna get in there with the wrench. That's why we were using the wrench. Just that angle. I think one of those type the swivel head socket would have been better in here too. The stubby swivel head. But it's okay. Okay, there we are. There, we're good. We got the exhaust manifold in there. And wires stuck on stuff. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, that's better. All right, next step. So I have the fasteners from the machine shop because both heads originally went. One failed the test of the magnetic particle test, so we just had to transfer a lot of stuff from that cracked head. So that one had crack in it, the passenger side, which is what this was here. But we put a brand new one in. We bought a brand new OEM one, and we just did that the other day of installing it in, torque it, and all that. Let me grab those little bolts here. Here's our fasteners. I made sure I was joking around there at the machine shop with the guy there. He gave me a bunch of the boxes and I packed it up real good when I sent the, so here's our stuff. I sent the heads there because I only want to make sure they didn't get damaged, you know, a whole bunch of clothes inside these boxes. So he's like, oh, I got your clothes back for you in your boxes. I'm like, okay. So I was like, oh, where's the fasteners? I was like, because I was told him, I was about to just take those boxes to the dumpster. I didn't realize he put all the fasteners in it. So it was good that I asked him. So I was like, okay, just take this garbage out of here. It's not a big deal, you know. I brought it here. It's the right thing to do to get rid of it, you know. So it's good to make sure you chit-chat a little bit sometimes. So that kind of saved me from throwing away all my fasteners and stuff I had to reuse, you know. Doesn't hurt to check it out before you throw it out, kind of thing. Just make sure you absolutely don't need anything in it. Especially if it wasn't you yourself that was the one that packed it. Okay. So I got to get this dipstick tube into the correct orientation, because that's supposed to piggyback with this plate right here, like I just showed a little while ago, for your spark plug wire holder organizer thing. Right up here. And there's one that's more towards the back of the engine. Basically, same thing. And something that's interesting to note is this takes the same exact part number cylinder head for both sides. So all they do is they have different things. So this side, instead of the coolant temperature sensor, like right where my finger is pointing, it has a plug. That's what that is right there. So if this was used on the driver's side, that would be the coolant temperature sensor in that spot. And it would be flipped 180 around, and the studs for the accessory brackets and that stuff is all 180 degrees swapped. So and you just kind of Lego it up with the studs and everything, get it the way it's supposed to be. I'm just gonna put this little bolt in here to hold it in place. I still have to get the dipstick in its right spot. And these turned out pretty good. We painted these. I painted these a few days ago, or over a week ago. The exhaust manifold kind of got scraped a little bit by the dipstick, but whatever. It's better than it looked before, so I can live with that. Okay, so then I'll show you over here where this other side goes. Okay, you can see it peeking here, I'll point. Right there. And the hole is just right here. Oh, there we go. It went into position. It was catching. Now it's good. Right there. See the hole? Bam. So we'll get that fastener in there. First, we just want to make sure our dipstick gets in the right spot, because it's kind of important having an oil dipstick working right. So it's interesting how they have this dipstick so tightly in between with the exhaust manifold. And that was one of the number one things that was kind of obstructing the thing as well when I was taking out the old one. So something to note on that. And based on the pilot hole size, let me see. Oh, sorry guys, I'm trying to point what I'm trying to look at. So it comes with this trying to think of the term for it. Huh. So I just got to get this up to here. It's either going into the exhaust manifold part or the part up there, and it's going to be pretty obvious which one it goes to if I line up with the bolt. Or I go through and like check it with the actual bolt, the bolt threads, the shank of it, you know. Pretty easy. If like, hey, this shape doesn't fit, and like, okay, it doesn't, that's not, then it's not the right spot, you know. To me, it looks like it goes right, it piggybacks with the exhaust manifold bolt. So if you can see how I'm looking at it right now, it's like a natural contour right there to where it goes. So I think I just back out that one and then piggyback it, and then boom, chef's kiss, you know, on to the next step, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense to you guys. So let me see. To make it easier, I have the exhaust manifold bolts from the driver's side. They're the same exact thing. I'm just going to see if that's the same size. And I'm pretty sure it will be. And if it isn't, then I know it isn't, you know. But I'm pretty sure it is. Let me get this light in the right way. I don't like how the light doesn't lock. Like this thing's like loosey-goosey. It's just trying to turn the exact opposite way I'm trying to point it at. But you know, the old Harbor Freight light. Something I got when I was just getting started, getting tools and stuff for here. I have that battery powered one, but I slipped my mind on charging it yesterday. So it's on the charger right now, but it doesn't help you much when you know. So you know, I'm just a human being, you know what I mean? I'm not doing everything perfect. First try everything, you know. But when I screw up on stuff, then you guys know what not to do, and I guess it's probably entertaining too, you know, in that regard. So let me grab this bolt and see if it checks out. Okay, here we go. Get a drum roll going, let's see. It's been a hot minute since I took this apart. Here we go. No. So it goes up here. Interesting. So now we know. That makes sense. Why would they have it sitting on the exhaust manifold? I don't know. That part's kind of puzzled me on this thing, but the rest of the stuff kind of makes sense. But when you see it from like a more farther back view, you kind of get a better idea of why and the what and why and all that. Because they put this vehicle or engine in quite a few different GM vehicles. Like that 98 Blazer I got outside has the same engine as this as well. And we're gonna need the same stuff I'm doing on this, so that's coming up. So we're doing this like a practice for the same thing on another vehicle we got here. All right, now I'm gonna see if I can get this to wiggle to where it needs to be for the final position. Let me see in here. So it's interesting, it has like a part where it splits off too, where it comes apart. You see the dipstick, for those two sections where they can pull apart. So interesting. I'd have to look at the diagram. I'm almost thinking that this is supposed to slip in between the exhaust manifolds in the block, because there's no way this is gonna be having the clearance to get from way outside of here to inside. So I think I made a boo-boo right there. It's an easily correctable one. Not a big deal. Let me feel with my finger though to make sure it's actually the clearance. There's no point taking it off if there isn't, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's gotta go. There's no way this thing's gonna have the space. Yeah, there's space to fit through here, definitely. Yeah, I think that's where I went wrong right there. So if you're doing this, now you know. Well, now I know as well. That goes in position first, and then you go ahead and put your exhaust manifold over top. So we have to take this back off. It's okay. So at least I didn't try to force it with the way it is. There's no way it's going to do that. It's going to damage this thing, you know. All right. Fortunately, I'm going to have to go now. I got some stuff coming up going on right now. So I'll have to cut back to this coming up when I get on again. And we'll correct that and put the spark plugs in like we were saying. So this thing's starting to resemble a vehicle again, you know. So, all right, but everybody, thanks for popping in and watching. Anybody that's been here, anybody that's, you know, new here, or just coming back, you know, watching. I appreciate it all. All right, guys. I appreciate it if you like and subscribe if you like this kind of content or that kind of thing. All right, we'll pick up where we left off when I get a chance to get on live stream again. All right, till next time, guys.